Hi everybody, it's Christopher and welcome to Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different, the YouTube channel. If you've been watching some of these videos before, you know that I've been talking about the different characteristics of cortical visual impairment and how they affect my life. And today I want to focus on a preference for a visual field. Very early on in my recovery, I was asked more than once if I was having any trouble with my lower field of view or my lower peripheral vision, because I was told that that was a common characteristic of cortical visual impairment. But what I experience is actually the complete opposite. It's actually my upper field of view that is completely shot. And even though in the couple of years after my surgery I did get a little bit of my sight back, my upper field of view is one thing that has not come back. It's not recovered. And so it's meant that when I do things, I've had to learn to do certain things differently, and in particular walking. When we go out for a walk, a lot of us would, and maybe not even really realizing it, a lot of us will glance up ahead at what's ahead of us, but we tend to look down and we tend to look at this sort of 1 meter space in front of us because we're watching out for anything that we might kick, trip over, or step on. And then we glance up as needed as we go. I have had to learn to do the exact opposite because I need to keep my head up to know what's around me and what's coming and what may be coming near me. And I glance down occasionally to make sure there's nothing immediately in front of me. But that's just what I've had to adjust to and had to learn to do, because when I walk with my head down, and early on I did it a fair bit more than I do now, but when I was walking with my head down, I've had so many near misses with trees and posts and signs and even people. And especially nowadays, because there's so many people that are also walking with their heads down because they're looking at devices as they walk. I need to keep my head up so that I can see people coming so that I can avoid them, because if we both have our head down, and this has happened to me, where I've encountered somebody who's also had their head down and I've had mine down, and we're maybe about a foot, maybe 2 feet apart before we end up seeing each other and just having this near miss episode of a collision. So this is one of the things that I've needed to sort of remind myself. I mean, I'm human, I make mistakes, and sometimes I'm not really paying attention and I walk with my head down, and then I'll have a near miss with a post or a tree or something, and then it's like, oh right, I gotta keep my head up. One of the other things that came out of that, that my body needed to get used to, was from keeping my head up and keeping it up so much, especially when I'm walking or especially when I'm out and about, my neck muscles had to adjust to that, because early on my neck used to get really sore from keeping my head up all the time and sort of staying in that position. But like any sort of exercise or workout program, my neck has gotten used to that, and it gets far less sore nowadays. Occasionally it's still a bit of a problem, but there's usually something else at play there. Maybe I didn't get a good sleep, maybe I slept on it wrong, who knows. But it tends not to bother me as much as it used to, which is a good thing, because that's pretty much how my life goes now. I mean, when I go to the neurosurgeon, he will do this test with me where he'll put a hand out and he'll lower it down until I tell him that I can see it. And sometimes it's about the mid of my forehead or even at my eyebrows before I'm able to tell him that I actually see it. So that tells me that it's not recovering, it hasn't recovered, and it just makes me sort of extra aware. That's that one more thing that makes me aware that I need to keep my head up when I'm moving around, so that I don't have any more near collisions and try to avoid them as much as possible. So that is my thought on a preference for a visual field. I thank you very much for watching this video today. If you've been watching the others, thank you so much for coming back and watching these videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you find them valuable. If you're new to these videos and new to this channel, I do hope that you'll click like down below and click subscribe and come with me on this journey as I go more through the characteristics of CVI, and then I'm going to get into some other eyesight related topics as well. But I want to thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.